And welcome back to Twins Coast to Coast. Today we are going to have Scott Grabner with MobilityWorks share a little bit about what MobilityWorks can do for the ease of transportation for people that have disabilities. I met Scott through our MS Advocacy Day here in the state of Georgia, which is very dear to me because, of course, having multiple sclerosis, there are so many things that the legislature needs to know about us, especially with how medications becoming very difficult to have, and they want to start you off with a medication that of course is so much cheaper to obtain versus a medication that the doctor actually prescribes for you and feels that you'll do better with. So Scott and I met that day, had a great time, and we were able to learn a little bit more about what we do. And Scott is so fascinating. He works for a company called MobilityWorks. They're all over the country, and MobilityWorks makes life easier for people with disabilities. So let me introduce you to Scott Grabner, and he's going to tell you a little bit about what his company does.
So Mobility works for 92 locations in the US, and we are the premier provider of adaptive vehicle solutions, which is anything from equipment needed to get your wheelchair in the vehicle all the way to a fully converted wheelchair accessible vehicle. In the last year and a half, we've grown to about 20 new locations. So now we're now at 92 locations in the US, which just makes it in general very easy for our clients in terms of just traveling around to stop at any one of our locations. And I think what you would ask me is that, just kind of talking about the 2-3 different things we do. But we have a consumer division, which is like individuals like yourself,
right.
And then we have a commercial division, which is where we supply all vehicles to hospitals, retirement homes, independent contractors, whatever is needed for transportation.
Good. And tell us a little bit about somebody like myself with
Sure.
having multiple sclerosis, and I've gone through different phases of disability, and now my disability is where I'm in a scooter pretty much all the time, and getting in and out of a car is a little difficult for me. So tell me a little bit about your services at MobilityWorks that would help
Sure.
somebody like me.
Well, I got to say, it was a pleasure to meet Terry. For all those who don't know, we're at the Georgia MS State Action Day, and immediately clicked, and she's a great woman. So we serve a lot of different clients. So multiple sclerosis, ALS, spinal, anything spinal cord injuries, older age, accidents at birth. We see an array of different types of situations. For someone like in multiple sclerosis, where it's an autoimmune disease which is degenerative over time, it really is case by case. Somebody who happens to be in a scooter home, 80% of the time, we're literally looking to see how to accommodate a scooter to make it easy. So when I say that, we want to make you have as much independence to do what you love to do. So we try and make it as easy as possible for you to get to A to B. So someone with a scooter, it would probably make sense. You have 2 options. You can either put an equipment lift and an equipment transfer chair into your vehicle. So it just lifts off, all automated, lifts your scooter up, puts it in the trunk of your car, and then you can go ahead and has a seat that actually comes all the way out of the vehicle, so you just transfer over. That's an option, but also I think what's the more, even as I look at you and some other options, I think a full van is easier. They've chosen to go to vans because they're the most user-friendly and accessible for anybody in a chair.
Right.
But the one thing about a van is you can avoid weather, so I can go in and out, as opposed to equipment takes some time. A van, you're in and out, it's very versatile. You can take the chairs out, you can ride in your chair, as long as it's a power chair. Those are really your 2 options, and typically if a client can afford it, they'll go the van option because it's just much easier to get around.
Right, so that's what I'm thinking about now, because my car is a crossover, and it's really hard for anybody really to pick up a 35-pound lightweight scooter and take it in and out, and then I have to rely on somebody to be with me at all times. So MobilityWorks would be great for me because I can buy a minivan, which I love, and I can have my independence back. So yes, so Scotty and I are going to talk about that one.
Yeah, and I just say is that the this is not any sort of traditional automotive experience. I didn't come from the automotive, a lot of us did not. You get a team, and that's really what it is, and something we've talked about. Going through what you're going through, I'll never understand.
Yeah.
That can only empathize, and it's overwhelming. So when someone comes to us, we're not just doing vehicles for you. We have a lot of resources to get you to each aspect to address in your life dealing with your disability. Each client comes in and maybe doesn't realize it first, but we take every single client into our family, and we really mean that. Every case is individual. Sure, multiple people might have multiple sclerosis, but each person is different, and their experience is unique to them and their family. And that's very important. We identify that and find out what's important so we can get you to where you need to go. And just having that relationship and that trust is really important to our company. It's really important to me.
What happens in an emergency situation if I'm alone and I need assistance in general?
So it's a really good question. So my whole goal with any client is to make sure you're safe on the road at all times. So one of the things we do as a company, actually we give it to you for free, it's our Roadside Assistance program. But it's similar to like what AAA, but it's a couple things that make it a little different. One thing that's really great, it is 24/7 call service. So anytime should, heaven forbid, something does happen, you do have a call service. Also, if you need to get somewhere, like if your vehicle breaks down and you need to get towed, not only will we send a vehicle to get you towed, but we'll also send you a wheelchair accessible vehicle to get you where you need to go.
That's amazing.
So, and that's something
really
we offer
important.
for free for a year for sure for our company.
Yeah. So I think, coming from with family, I look at my children, my husband, and finding ease, and I'm sure there are different disabilities at different levels. So working with that family, it may be a mother or father, and they may be older to a child that may have had a spinal cord injury. I'm sure that relationship with that family member is super important to see what you can provide for them to get that family member in distress.
Yep, absolutely.
Where they need to go.
Absolutely, Terry. And so what we actually do is, when you do come see us, we'll sit down with you, your family. More the merrier, as my grandfather always says, and I believe it as well, so everybody's on the same page. So as many people you can bring to the appointment's great, but we'll go through what we call a needs analysis. So I will sit with you and we'll go through your day-to-day life. What are good days? What are bad days like? What kind of medical devices you travel with? How many people you're traveling with? What needs do we have to address, not even just now, but we have to look for in the future?
Yeah.
So we walk through every single client with ours and really have a detailed assessment as to what the proper solution is to get you on the vehicle and on the road.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. MobilityWorks is really lucky to have you on board.
I'm lucky to have a job there. It's a great company and I love being on that team.
So Scott, what led you into working for MobilityWorks and wanting to do this?
Sure. So I knew about the company for almost 10 years. It's based in Cleveland, Ohio, where I'm originally from. And I actually was taking care of my grandfather, George Grabner, for the last 6 years of his life as nursing home. And I really I got really close to understanding the clients in there and what they go through and how important it is to have somebody there to get them where they need to go. And I asked MobilityWorks, and that was one of the greatest decisions I ever made. Is walking into them and calling and say, hey, is there a position on your team? And many interviews later, it was a very lengthy process. They want to make sure that their team is well equipped, and I was thankful enough to get the job. And so proud member of the team for sure.
So, Scott, how can people support people like me with multiple sclerosis?
Yeah, so I think just doing what we're doing and just talking and just, raising awareness just by having a conversation is really, really powerful, and just to become aware of what someone like yourself is going through. But also, the state of Georgia does an excellent job of raising awareness and also fundraising to help finding a cure and helping with research. So we actually have 3 great walks coming up. MobilityWorks is a partner of it. It's the Walk MS. We have one in Atlanta, which is going to be downtown Atlanta on April 25th.
Come see me, I'm volunteering at the desk.
There you go. And we have one in Marietta on April 11th.
Come back and see me because I'm also volunteering.
And then last one, I kind of went reverse order, is in Rome, Georgia on April 4th.
Will not be at that one.
So please come and support. It'll be a great event. It's a lot of fun, but it's really focusing on what we're trying to get accomplished in terms of finding what's going on with MS.
Another great fundraiser that we were doing this year is Race to Erase MS on May 8th at the Beverly Hilton. Because we are twins coast to coast, Tamara's in California, I'm here on the East Coast, and we will be supporting Nancy Davis Foundation, which she does wonderful work year-round. It's just not the May 8th gala. This is a celebration of an entire year of fundraising and making people aware of multiple sclerosis. So we're really excited to attend this year. So you can see we are very much involved in fundraising and bringing light to multiple sclerosis. So my Facebook page at Twins Coast to Coast, as well as Terry Ward's Facebook page, so I have two links that are going on to raise funds for the Georgia National Multiple Sclerosis Society. So make sure to raise awareness. I would love for you to donate, whether it's $1, $5, $100, whatever you feel, to help raise support and awareness for MS.
In addition to the MS Walks, we actually have our largest fundraiser of the year coming up, which is the MS Fine Wine Dine. Yeah. This Wednesday, February 26th at 6:30. Be happy to have you guys there. It's going to be a great event. And also for $100, each person for $100 gets a key. And if you get the winning key that unlocks, it's a locker of about 100 bottles of wine.
So we, as advocates here, have really, I think we'll make a difference this year.
Yeah, and now you got to go to your page because now you're raising as much money as you can.
That's right. Both of our pages for the Georgia National MS Society.
Yeah.
So definitely look us up on our pages down below here.
Sure.
So you can get connected with us and
donate to her page. I'll take care of everybody else. You got this.
And we'll have information for you to get a hold of Scott down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. All the information will be down below. See you in the next one. Mwah.
A big charitable. We have our largest film theater.
To like.
Are we drinking wine right now?